Hello and welcome to Only Stupid Answers. My name is Sam Basher.
I'm DJ Woldridge.
There's only a little bit of a delay, but not with the videos. They're still coming your way, boys and girls. And we got a brand new review for Season 2 of Harley Quinn, Episode 1, which came early. Thank you, DC Universe. I'm glad this show is back. That was one of my favorite shows of last year. I love it so much, I've got a little gift for you. Check this out. Ready? 3, 2. Oh, one of the best sounds in the world.
Oh, dang.
You gotta give a thumbs up down below for that. That was wonderful. DJ, how are you doing?
You know what I'm doing, man? We're hanging in there with the quarantine, still getting our content, still getting our reviews out to everybody. We appreciate everybody checking out our videos and supporting. We're trying to create a little refuge for you guys from all the craziness out in that world. But guess what? There's no refuge for Harley Quinn in Gotham because it's no longer part of the United States.
No, it's awful. But yes, let's say really quick business up top. We're talking about Season 2, Episode 1, New Gotham. After Gotham is declared no longer part of the United States, the newly formed Injustice League try to seize control of the city away from Harley. Thank you for that official synopsis. I missed this show. It was only off the air for 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah. How much do you want to bet that it was supposed to be off the air longer? And they're like, well, let's just give it to the people.
Why not?
Power to the people.
I don't dislike that idea whatsoever. Also, I know that in the comments of our reviews for Season 1, people were mentioning that usually animated shows are ordered in bulks of 2 seasons that are split up if you watch Voltron on Netflix. I think that was the first time I noticed it is when we were doing Voltron on Netflix, the way they split that up. But so yeah, this is just a continuation of a story. It is technically a renewed Season 2, but I hope it's able to go beyond Season 2 to like new content, because it's some of the best stuff DC's doing over there. But check out all of our reviews for Season 1 and the other DC shows, but let's hop into it. First episode back, just initial thoughts right off the bat. It was good. It didn't have any moments that really stuck with me. Besides, I think the action stuck with me more than the humor, which is slightly disappointing because Season 1's episodes, each episode had really good jokes, especially with King Shark. I had a lot of good one-liners, and but I do we were talking off camera, but the new setup for how Gotham's running and what Harley has to go up against in this season is pretty cool. Pretty cool so far.
Yes, I was about ready to give a major spoiler, and then I realized I think this review is going up prior to the season dropping, so I won't share that. But there was one thing that stuck with me that was pretty violent. But I will say, unrelated to that, I will say King Shark gets some pretty solid moments. Especially as they're trying to find the good eats in this new Gotham, because if you watched last season, you know that the Justice League has been sucked into a fairy tale book, and Batman and Joker are both missing, and then the culmination of Joker's plans ended up in creating a massive earthquake that has basically decimated Gotham. So things are really off the rails, and Harley's loving it. And I love this emphasis on the idea of Harley just really being in anarchy, no bosses, no rulers. Instead of Poison Ivy's trying to motivate her to take over Gotham, and instead Harley takes the opportunity to have all the other henchmen of all the other big bosses revolt, so that there's no leaders, no leadership. I think that's a really fun take on Harley, and it tracks with what we understand of this version of Harley in this show.
Yeah, agreed. And the setup, I think that's fair to share, without being too spoilery, is that the Gotham has now been split up by Bane, Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, Penguin, and Riddler. And yeah, because that's all we really got working right now, because the Legion of Doom is basically gone off the table as well. But I do like this new Injustice League because everything is very hobbled. Even their headquarters is really hobbled. And you mentioned this when we did the review for last season, but there's a writer out there that really enjoys making fun of Bane, specifically Tom Hardy's Bane, because he has besides the costume design, he has he's not Hispanic or Latino like he normally is in the comics. He is just this weird caricature of what Tom Hardy was trying to do, what he did with the Bane in Dark Knight Returns, which is not bad, but I think this is the best version of Bane we've gotten so far. Easily, you can fight me over it, but I'm not going to listen.
I like how petty and passive aggressive he is, and how nobody else respects him. I think that's really funny.
And he is a threat. He has killed people, but I maybe just not on the level as all the other villains. So not really a threat, but hey, it could change. We could finally see him Hulk out, Bane out, kill a bunch of people this season. Who's to say? Speaking of that, I like that the cops just like they have no grasp on this whatsoever. Jim Gordon is sure that there is still a Batman out there, and we do get maybe a stand-in for Batman. I'll say
which
that,
is hilarious. That was a good save because I almost stepped right in that one as well. That was really funny. And in this universe, I feel the most bad for Jim Gordon because in this universe he seems the most aware.
Destroyed.
This is considering all the things Jim Gordon goes through in every iteration. It affects this one the most, and in the most believable way. Of course, Jim Gordon would just be like, he's like a bag of cats. Like he's just barely holding things together, and it's like, of course he would be. His city is a nightmare.
And he's still willing to fight. I like
Yes.
the other cop's stance on all of it, which is hilarious. And I think a fun place to go with this is when, like a throwback to when Scott Snyder was writing Batman and Jim Gordon became Batman for a little bit when Bruce disappeared for reasons. But in that, he gets like trained by like assassins, and he shaves his mustache, and he somehow like de-ages like 40 years. I don't really. It was confusing his age in the comics right now.
Yes,
but
it
he
is.
ends up. He gets like a robotic bat suit, which is pretty cool. That's actually my favorite part of it. I really like that suit. It's like a walking tank.
Yeah.
It would be fun to get a version of that in this show, but the fact that he can't hold it together, either you have him emotionally break down and like lose it, like go crazy, or it's very makeshift. Like it's very much like hodgepodgey, not very threatening. He still fails a lot. But there are some teases for what could happen throughout the season, not just like Harley taking on this new Injustice League. There are more things that are set up in the first episode, which I like that they're able to kind of set the table. The first season did a good job kind of doling out information as the season went and paying it off in a really rewarding way, I felt.
Yeah, I agree. And I also like that it really feels like the show's emphasizing this no-holds-barred nature of this universe. Like there are consequences. I think that's really cool. And also, as advertised in some of the trailers leading into the season, we do get to meet Mr. Freeze very briefly in this episode. And like a lot of the villains, he's a really cool, fun, funny take on the character.
Yeah, they do I think they dunk on him pretty quick that everyone's like, no, he's not like a bad guy. He's trying to help his wife. And it's like, yeah, but you commit crimes, right? Yeah,
of course I do. How else am I supposed to save my wife?
Yeah, which I'm glad that they admit that
crazy?
immediately. And Two-Face gets a lot more, because I think he was just like background in season
Agreed.
1, which is, so you get to like really hang out with him more. Riddler got a lot of good jokes in the first season.
Yes.
I like hanging out with these Batman villains as much as we are in this first episode. It's really cool to see how they're gonna evolve, and the city is evolving into more like the Arkham games with like the territories each of the Bat characters have. Like everything's more exaggerated. Like Penguin's got his setup. Mr. Freeze's whole part of Gotham is like ridiculous, as well as like Riddler's and so far, the setup is pretty cool, and I hope we get a full 13 episodes this season, which I'm led to believe we are. But I'm excited to get back to this show week to week, because it was definitely something I look forward to checking out.
Yeah, and it's good, especially with times like now. Hey, some people are able to have fun during the apocalypse. You know what I mean? Sam, what would you rate the season 2 premiere of Harley Quinn?
I think just because it left on such a high, and there's like I think it's fair to say there's a severe lack of Kite Man in this first episode.
That's true.
You can feel it, like there's a vacuum. So I think an 8 out of 10 feels pretty safe, because it's not bad. I'm well invested into what's going to happen with like Jim Gordon, Harley's crew, but also to explore what Gotham looks like and what the world looks like now with the Justice League gone. Like, it might be, what if it's great outside of Gotham, because there's no more Justice League, and there's no, like, and the setup was no more Legion of Doom. So like the world might be great. We're like, you know what? Gotham seems to be the one place where they're all hanging out. We'll just ditch that.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world can move on.
Yeah.
That's just like our junk drawer.
Yeah, exactly. We just had to ditch Gotham, and the rest of America turned out fine. I agree with that rating. I would also give it an 8 out of 10. I think the setup for the season is really, really cool. I think there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential to do stuff that other iterations of the Gotham world have not been able to tackle in the same way. And the supporting cast, Harley and the supporting cast are still like A+. King Shark gets some really good jokes. Clayface gets some really good moments. Very into all of that. So I'm excited to have the show back. 8 out of 10.
I hope we get a more like D-lister Justice League members.
Yes.
You know, like really like start making like, because they did such a good job deconstructing like Kite Man and making him interesting. If they kind of did the same thing for like I think you can get some mileage with Animal Man. I know you're a big fan of him. He's had good comics, but there's a lot of material there to kind of play with for how for his character. Anyway, so yeah, I want to throw it to you guys in the comments. Who would you like to see pop up on this show from the Justice League as well as other villains? Because I feel like now that we've kind of got rid of a lot of the big players, how would they come back, or who will kind of fill that vacuum? Because we haven't dealt with like Darkseid or the New Gods or anything like that. And I think that honestly we've dealt with a lot of the other ones. A lot of the space heroes we haven't dealt with. Teen Titans we haven't dealt with. There's some wiggle room. The Justice Society possibly you could deal with them
coming out of retirement. It could be a good with Cyborgman. Maybe he has a history with them.
That'd be cool. And also you could really lean into the fact that they are old. They are 80-year-old men that are running around and punching people. Their bones should be breaking really easily. But hey. There's there's a lot of room there. So let us know in the comments down below who you'd like to see on this show. Also, when you check it out, come back, maybe watch this video again, share it with your friends, and tune back in for weekly reviews of this show as well as more DC properties coming out. We were able to watch a few episodes of Stargirl. Zipped our lips, can't say anything just yet, but we will talk about that when that show premieres, which is exciting. And hopefully you guys are staying safe, stay hydrated, wash your dang hands, and hopefully we can get through this all together.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.